Hey guys, this is Rainwolf.
Hey, Kirido Silverheart here.
Austin the Silverheart.
And this is Lyria.
So, Kirito, you want to start us off with a little summary of what's going on?
Yeah, I thought we might change things up a little bit with our new Twitch format here and start actually doing a little bit more of a in-depth description or just kind of a generic summary of the episode. So tonight's episode of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, is called Meeting Through an Apple. In this episode, we see Towa honing her skills and senses as she teams up with Kohaku's demon hunting party, which includes her sister Setsuna. Afterwards, the sisters retire to Kaede's house, where Towa sleeps through the night and into the morning. Meanwhile, Kayuki meets with Kirinmaru and is granted permission to kill the daughters of Sesshomaru. Next morning, Setsuna leaves Towa to sleep while she and Kohaku's team go out on another hunt. Towa wakes up, irritated she's been abandoned by her sister, and decides to prove herself useful by going out and tracking down the dream butterfly. While she was lost in the woods, Towa meets Riku, a pirate, who gives Towa a katana he was carrying after she helped him find the nearest body of water that would lead him to the ocean, and sharing a nice picnic lunch with him. Towa is captured by the retainers of the deputy shogun of Kanto, Ogeyatsu Hirayaga, who had that sword stolen from him just days prior. She's taken before the Lord Deputy Shogun and Tosume, the owl demon that we saw in the first episode, where we begin to relive the events of the first episode. Moroha meets up with Setsuna, and the two girls, traveling on the back of Takachiyo, decide to travel to locate Towa and rescue her. Kayuki interferes and attacks them with Fabuki, the ice and snow demon bear of the north. Fubuki's real body is located in the same room as Towa, and using her powers to attack Fabuki, signals Moroha, who is able to attack the body long distance with a sacred arrow and kill it. The girls rescue Towa and replay the final events of the first episode before credits roll, right into an episode preview that we are definitely excited to talk about.
Oh, I fully agree with that. Okay, first things first. Does anyone else see a pairing happening?
Maybe.
Not with
I don't
Riku,
know.
not Towa. It's not Towa that I'm talking about.
Oh
Oh,
no.
what? Okay, you gotta go. No. What? Okay.
I see where you're going with this, Wolf.
I don't just.
So during the scene where we, at the beginning of the episode, when we have the demon hunting party taking down the unnamed demon, side note, anybody else notice that this is the first big demon creature that we've seen a fight for that wasn't clearly named?
Yeah, because it had no importance and it's not powerful. It's pretty weak.
But still, it's like one of the few random demons that we haven't had a name drop for.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Probably name them at least, even if it's just a tag on the screen. There's normally at least some sort of.
There's some kind of indicator of what this demon is, what kind of demon it is, or something.
Mhm.
And we get none of that.
His name is Frank.
Let's call him Frank.
I don't know.
Poor Frank.
Frank's.
But anyway, what I think what Wolf is referring to is the part of the fight where Hisui and Setsuna are on the back of Kalala, and when Kohaku is kind of talking out loud about how well they're starting to work together, we see Hisui turn around and smile at Setsuna, and she just kind of shrugs and blows him off, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Well,
Okay.
he is a Tsunade.
Eh.
In a way, well, like a low-grade Tsunade, because I don't think there's actually a term because she does, well, no, there is a term, but I can't think of it right now, where there's cold reactions, but no actual physical abuse.
If there's anybody watching, feel free to throw into the comments so we can know what type of dere is Setsuna.
I gotta go find that list again I had for the last, when we talked about these. So after the opening, we jump into pretty much one of the pearls, the 4 pearls. I think that's what they're called, if I remember correctly. And we're
The Rainbow Pearls?
Yeah, the
No.
Rainbow Pearls.
well, no, the demon.
The 4 pillars?
Pillars. Was it pillars? I thought it was pillars.
It's Perils.
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 What are
Sorry.
you guys talking about?
The
I was
four
in here.
perils.
I was like, wait, did I
Sorry.
think perils? The
Yeah.
4 perils
I'm
that
sorry.
go with the 4 pearls.
I watch a lot of Dan Brown movies and listen to a lot of Dan Brown audiobooks, so immediately when he said the 4 starts with a P, I was thinking the 4 pillars from Angels and Demons, but
Just
I'm
so
not
no
all with it
words.
tonight.
I
No.
don't know
I
words.
was
So.
Words is
confused
hard.
about what was going on. I'm not gonna lie. I was like sitting here, like, what are they even talking? Did we watch the same episode? Did I miss something?
Words are difficult for us.
Um,
We're
I'm
good.
sorry
This
that
is
I'm
hard.
watching 3 to 4 different animes at the same time as watching this one.
I know.
Same.
I was just confused. I was just confused and concerned that I had missed something.
I'm surprised I haven't crossed anything over in these podcasts yet.
It'll happen. It's fine.
Then all of a sudden, Shinon just pulls out a bow and.
That one's over.
Oh my goodness.
So we have one of the first 4 perils, and she's actually talking with the Beast King. And it's kind of funny how they call her I can't pronounce it, but they don't call her Moroha.
Biniyasha. Yeah,
They
they
call
don't call her Moroha.
I find that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go. They're going into the discussion, and there's like he forgot even who this one of his 4 perils was.
Yeah, the bone demon that we saw them take down.
Well, I'd say he's probably had several. They're probably different incarnations of them. So to be fair, you're an immortal demon monster. You got lots going on. You're busy with your ruling your world and stuff. I do feel like he probably had multiple perils. Like that's not the first incarnation of them. So he's probably think of it. He's probably like 50 perils in at this point. Like it's just like, which one was that? Like,
That's a possibility.
And that's true. I mean,
peril
when
number
you're
12.
when you're that high level of a figurehead of authority for
and
the
with
chain
the
like
type of
that.
personality he has, he's probably killed off a number of his incarnates for each.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I was
yeah,
thinking too.
I would
he's
definitely say.
He's probably just impressed someone else killed him opposed to him having to murder him and eventually
It's like, oh, you're weak.
yeah, I'm tired of you. Go on now.
Or another reason why he wasn't sure, like, who the hell was that again, is because going back to a theory that I had beforehand, where he's time hopping.
Yeah.
He can't
different,
remember.
different realities, different timelines and stuff. Maybe he had a different set of 4 pillars or 4 perils. Damn it!
Perils. Oh my
Wolf, you got me
gosh.
all messed up now, man. God.
I was gonna think he could just be an asshole too. That's an entirely
that's a given.
good possibility. He's just an and he just doesn't care enough about his underlings. He's like, oh, that one's dead now too? Oh.
And they're supposed to be his 4 strongest. So he spits out the grape, but then it jumps us over to Towa and Setsuna at Lady Kurade's place.
I think he didn't even want to do it. He just didn't even want to do anything with him. He wasn't
No.
wanting. That's the thing that got me too. He was more than willing to let her murder him, but he didn't give a shit.
No.
That was surprising to me.
So they're walking in. Towa pulls out the violin, or she notices the violin, then she brings it up to Setsuna. Then she ends up laying there. Setsuna's playing, then falls into a deep sleep, and she starts dreaming.
This dream was adorable, in my opinion.
For a second, I thought it was a
Was.
flashback, but then as the dream went on, I was like, oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, they've never
Yeah,
been
I'm-
that close or sisterly. She's having like these
Yeah, I mean, honestly, could you see Sessuna, like, just
going shopping.
cuddling up next to that giant stuffed kitty?
I really want that giant stuffed kitty to be canon, though.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
God.
lie. Like,
Well,
I
it
need
kind of
this
is,
kitty.
because if you notice, it's the cat.
Yeah, it's what's the cat's name?
The cat
It's
that should be
their
dead.
family cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one that supposedly lives off the off of dead
corpses?
demons.
Yes.
Demon corpse.
He's snacking on demon.
No,
Hey,
And
no,
that
no.
cat's
also-
gonna live for a hot minute if he's snacking on demon souls. I'm just gonna say that, like, we're gonna see that cat for another 150 years at least.
And also,
Yeah.
Toa's outfit was really, really cute. I really
She had
liked it.
yes, she really had a girlish outfit for once instead of the boyish outfits.
See that
I
right there.
like her
That
boyish
right there
outfit.
should
I
have
don't-
told you it was a dream.
Yeah, it was a
nothing
dream.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of surprising from what we've
From the
seen
perspective.
Towa.
Yeah.
What we've seen Towa in since the beginning.
I like her whole like androgynous look that she normally has,
Yes.
but like the more feminine outfit was cute too. I liked it.
But again, that right there should clue you in. It was
It
a
was
Oh,
a
yeah.
dream.
dream.
Well, I didn't really pay much attention to it that part. I was just paying attention to what was happening in the dream. So the dream, and then she ends up waking up. She's angry, unbelievable. This expression they gave her for this animation.
Was yes.
Oh my gosh.
The animation for this series has just been so spot on so far. Like, every nuance of character development that I've been able to pick up on is just represented so well in the animation, especially with the styles of like the facial features and reactions and things. It's
I
great.
just love how Grandma responded to the whole thing too.
It's
Just
not-
nonchalant. You were sleeping. They didn't want to bother you.
It's nothing
you look
new
so
to her.
peaceful.
It's
And then
happened before.
and then she almost like, if she could have rolled her eyes, she was rolling her eyes with the expression she made when she, Towa's like, I'm gonna go find him and prove I'm worse. And Grandma's just like, I have heard this so many times. You kids, and you're proving yourself worthy. I'm sick of it. I'm staying here and drinking my tea.
It's like, this is how many generations now?
Yeah, she's just like, this is ridiculous. Like, so it was pretty funny.
Bump. Another one storming off.
And right as she walks out, she just takes a sip of her tea.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun storming the castle.
And then she walks what she thinks is east, and then we come to find out she actually went in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
She
Isn't
has no idea where
surprising.
she's
It's
going.
Towa, so that's
And the
Not
map
surprising.
she has isn't really accurate.
To be fair, I
Well,
wouldn't
it
know
is
where I was
accurate
going
for,
either.
2,000 years later. Or a couple hundred, I'm sorry, not 2,000, like a couple hundred years later.
Then we meet Riku.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. He's a pirate. I understand that, but I'm gonna call him Guyliner for like the rest of this fucking series.
Yeah, kind of have to, because it really does stick out. It's
I
not
mean,
like,
Captain Jack Sparrow had it. Killian in Once Upon a Time. Thank you.
There was also the series Descendants, the
Yes.
character Harry. He's a pirate and he
Yeah.
has guyliner. It's like a thing that apparently pirates have to have the eyeliner. It's a requirement.
And before anybody tries to blow up social media and knock me for that statement, for the record, I have worn Guyliner for like quite a while, so I am totally in my right to call out Guyliner here. So yes,
It's
Towa
not a
meets
constant,
Guyliner.
like, everyday emo thing. It's just on occasion. He's been known to
Oh
sport it
no,
for
like
holidays
before
or
you met me,
special
there was like a good like 4-month period that I was rocking that.
How old were you?
I refuse to answer that question.
I'm done here.
so it steps into it. Then as they're going, as introductions, they're having a conversation. She tells them where she's going. It's like, then Riku's like, I doubt there's butterflies this common at this time of year. It's like, I'm going to Mount.
I want to point out something here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally get to see Kirinmaru in this episode.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He picks up a grape, he eats it, he spits it out. What do we see as soon as we see Riku? He eats grapes and spits them out.
Is he the son of the king? Of
What about the ear? Did anybody catch that?
We'll get to that.
Okay, because
We'll
that's
get to
something I
that.
feel like needs to be talked about.
Because that definitely is something that needs to get brought up because we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking that I don't know if he might be the son. I don't know if
I don't think he
Harold
is.
was just hiding
Yeah,
it.
I don't think he is he. I think that he is. Yeah, I do think he's one of the perils. I think it was the peril we've already seen, the one we saw shortly before in that scene. I think that
Kiyuki.
like she's in disguise. I do.
Okay.
I really feel like because of the pearl.
So, okay, well,
because of a couple other things.
all right.
Towa was set up.
So
Which we'll get to that too.
Let's go ahead and kind of speed to the pearl thing.
Yeah.
Real quick because I'm almost right there with Asuna on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll explain my difference of the opinion here shortly. But yeah, so she meets Riku and he says, hey, you look lost, I'm lost too. She sniffs out like the nearest body of water, which she thinks is the ocean. They go through the forest, they find it.
And now it's glad that she's actually using her senses now.
Yes. And let me interject real quick. I know I'm kind of all over the place with my thought, but this is me. Get used to it. I love the fact that this episode started out completely ball busting me and calling me out for my theory from last week when I said that, okay, so far it's just been 6 episodes of, oh, Moroha figured out Moroha has this power or Setsuna has this power, but Towa has the magical ability to just end the situation, not even realizing half the powers that she has.
Yeah.
It called me out at the very beginning of this episode because it showed her training and practicing and honing her skills. And
So
that's
she's
one of
not
the
a
reasons
Mary
why I
Sue
wanted
like
to
you
call
were
that
saying,
out
yeah.
in the opening description today, is because it completely called me out on that. And I was so happy for that to happen. But yeah, we see Towa sniffing out the nearest body of water. They find out it's a lake. And he's just like, okay, well, the lake will get me to the ocean. So yay, thanks.
Well, river.
Or yeah, the river. But yeah, so here we go. Here
Where
we
he
see
said lake, I just have this vision of like a pirate on like this little dinghy boat, like in the lake. Now, just like I am sailing the seven sea, like just totally delusional about it.
Insert
Amazing.
epic pirate music.
Da, 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 yeah, Captain Jack Sparrow. Like,
but we see Riku brush back his hair, revealing his left ear, and he's wearing a little pearl earring that is blue.
Mhm.
He flicks it, and all of a sudden the water starts bubbling up, forms this giant bubble. He just leans in and starts drinking some of it.
Oh yeah, and she's super impressed by this. That's that moment where the guy like he gets dressed up, he comes on the date, pulls the car, she gets in the car and there's like heated seats and
My
he turns
question
around.
is
Like
during
that's the impress I want to impress you moment. Look here, princess. Like
is during the picnic scene. I have so many questions.
Yeah, but
why did they not bring? Why did Riku not say anything about any of the other items?
the apple.
Okay, but I do have stuff about the apple. I did look up stuff about the apple and why he was so amazed by the apple, but we'll get to that when we get.
We can go now.
No.
Okay,
and real quick, Lyria, he did kind of call it out. He did call it out a little bit. It was slightly in passing. It was just a little bit, but he was just like, "Wow, this all looks interesting, and it's edible."
Yeah.
So he did kind of call it out.
Well, I looked it up because I was like, why is he so amazed by the apple? Because all the other stuff. I was like, when did apples become big in Japan? Apparently, they did not start cultivating apples in Japan until the Meiji era in 1868. So up until that point, they did not have apples in Japan, and that's why he was so amazed by the apple.
Oh, that
Fun
makes
fact. Yep. There you go.
Well, and that makes it even more interesting because of what he says after he eats it. Because he flat out calls it out, I can see why something this delicious would get you kicked out of paradise. And then he makes a comment, "You fed me the forbidden fruit," which is a call to, Catholic and Christian religion of Adam and Eve. Eve presenting the forbidden apple to Adam, which was a disobedience against God, and it was the introduction of sin, and that's what got kicked them out of paradise, or aka the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
So,
That's an interesting take on it.
Because would like a Catholic or Christian type religion be that prominent for somebody like Riku in that time frame?
Yeah, you wouldn't think that would be
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never researched that kind of.
Yeah, because I'm not sure on how much those two religions had influence. I very doubt it's very little influence during this time.
None.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been. No,
so there you go. Foreshadowing.
Well, he is a pirate.
They're at that particular time in Japan. That was even. I don't believe there may have been trade that was initiated. Maybe at that time, maybe, but I'm not even sure then that they would have had any outside. That would have been a European belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know enough about Riku to know his background yet, because while we find him in feudal era Japan,
but he is a pirate, so we don't know where
he was a shore washed pirate. He was a pirate who was washed ashore. So it's hard to say. He could have been from a European area. He could have been from, dozens of different places at that point. So it's really hard to say. But I'm looking at it in the aspect of it's feudal Japan. He's obviously got one of the rainbow pearls dangling from his ear. And he's talking about the forbidden fruit, references to the Garden of Eden and everything. I'm thinking, okay, demon.
Well, yeah. Well, and the thing is, even at this point, I'm still only thinking there's 3 pearls until later on.
No,
there's only the 3 that we know about.
There's 4 pearls and 4
we
perils.
Come to find out later.
That's called out later. Yeah. Which makes sense.
So
no, actually,
I believe specifically they said it in the episode. There could be more, but it was just the 4 perils.
I didn't catch it throughout until the preview is the only part where I catch that there's more than 3.
Realize where they've gotten all their pearls from.
Well, we don't know the origin.
Demons.
We don't know the origin of gold and silver, which is Setsuna and Towa respectively. We know the origin of the ruby pearl that Moroha has. That was given to Takotsu, the bone demon, who was one of the 4 perils. Hey, I got it right this time.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that all the perils had pearls at some point.
And Setsuna's and Towa's, I think they had at birth.
Yeah, and that's a possibility. And it also could have been that their father.
And
The
giving it
very
to
least,
them.
they at the very
Here's a
least have them
theory.
very young.
Here's a theory that I've batted around. If they were born with the pearls, or they've had them, Sesshomaru had given them to them at an early age, or whatever happened, were they meant to be some of the perils? And for whatever reason, Sesshomaru knew this, and because of that, he set things into motion to happen the way they did, so that they would not fall under the
I
Beast
don't see
King's
them
rule.
as being
I mean, that's a possibility. Like, maybe there's something at birth that claims these demons for that, and they were somehow claimed.
Well,
It's very loose, and it's kind of out there. Maybe that's something Sesshomaru was concerned about, that they could turn, and that's why he set things into motion the way he did.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But we also don't know what the true background of these pearls are.
That's true.
We've only gotten to the point where, these two have them. They're inside their bodies. And we find out that
Moroha got hers from a fallen
peril.
I mean, yeah, because that could also lead into another theory of, well, maybe there are X number of rainbow pearls out there. Let's say there's
say rainbow, so there's probably the rainbow.
Yeah, but let's say there's 7, 8, 9 of them, whatever. Well, if Kirinmaru has 4 perils who each have one of the 4 pearls, who's to say that Sesshomaru's father, who was his yin yang rival, didn't have 4 upper echelon who each had one?
That's a possibility too.
And when Sesshomaru was supposed to take that mantle, he took 2 of the perils, or 2 of those elites' pearls, and hid them in his daughters.
My question is, where's Miyoga?
Miyoga. I mean, he's.
So we run into the shortstop guy on a horse that we see from episode 1. He's telling them to grab Towa, bring her along, bring all her things with her. We're heading to the Shogun.
It's the deputy shogun of Kanto. Yeah, who we kind of glossed over this for a second. So Riku looks over at Towa and sees her sword, and he's like, "Oh, does that happen to be the Kiko Jumanji?" And she was like, "No, it was a fake. It broke easily." He's like, "Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense considering that sword, the real sword, was given by the shogun to the deputy shogun of Kanto, and he doesn't call it out, but, oh, by the way, I jacked it a few days ago. Here it is, wrapped up in this cloth, and it's a present for you."
No, he never says that, though. He never says.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't call out that he stole it.
No, he never even says that he tells the origin, but he doesn't say that he stole it till he.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was thought process.
He was just like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me it's a fake, because the real one was given by the shogun to the deputy shogun of Kanto. What he doesn't say is, oh, by the way, I jacked it a few days ago and it's right here wrapped up in this cloth.
Yeah, and he just
says,
anything.
I have to repay you for helping me and feeding me such a fine apple, leaves the sword for her, and she doesn't even notice, really. In my opinion, she was just like, she pulls it out and sees it's a katana, and she's like, oh, so this is like a real sword. This is what a real sword feels like. And I don't think she puts 2 and 2 together that, girl, that's the real version of what you're carrying around the broken handle of.
Yeah, I don't think she did either.
I don't think she put 2 and 2 together.
No.
Even after the Lord Deputy Shogun's retainers and, Mr. Screw You Owl Demon in disguise shows up and arrests her under the guise that she was the one that stole the sword. So, and also, did anybody else notice just the convenience of him flicking his ear, flicking the pearl again, and all of a sudden there's a guy with a boat?
Yeah, it was somewhat planned out.
Yeah,
no,
this whole thing
totally,
just screams setup.
It was. That's what I'm saying.
Because he needed to hand the blade off to somebody. So now they're talking with the deputy shogun. They're having a discussion. He's saying about the books that we were... Obviously, all the things we got from the first episode is pretty much in this discussion now.
Yeah, so now
really
we're basically
be covered.
Now we're at the point where the series is folded back on itself. Episodes 1 through 6 episode 1 was really just the "Where Are They Now" episode, like we called out, of what happened at the end of Inuyasha, leading up to the events that set the stage for Yashahime. And then 2 through 6 were all like the prequel episodes, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the build up.
Yeah, it's all the build up of them meeting each other and figuring things out and establishing the plot line and everything, and now we're back to the main story.
And now we're getting the little tidbits that happened during and a little bit after. Now it changes over to Lady Kade's house. It's raining. Setsuna and Moroha are there. They're mentioning to prove that she brings up to the two. Oh, proving that. Oh, actually, technically Setsuna only at the moment. Because
Yeah, it's just
runs in-
Setsuna. She just gets back from the other demon hunt.
Yep. And then prove that she wasn't a nuisance is the discussion that's going on. Then Setsuna is like, and I thought you were being happily tamed. And of course, this collar comes off, so she starts heading off to go. No, I'm going to go search for the dog that strayed from the pack. And she is throwing Moroha under a bus right here. I think that's who she's talking about. It could be Towa.
I personally feel it's Towa, just because
It's her sister, and
it's her sister. She's getting irritated by her. The
Yeah.
fact that she's so naive and she's so undeveloped and she's soft and all this other stuff. And she's still set in her firm belief of the reason I'm here is to save you. And she's like, girl, I don't need saving. I'm fine the way I am.
So now it changes over to Sketchy's Raccoon Boy, and he's gonna have a different name every time.
Raccoon-o-mon.
Raccoonmon. Oh my god, now he's a Digimon.
So Moroha, they're talking that the target they have now is the Kayuki, the 4 peril.
Yeah, Kayuki, one of the 4 perils. Yeah, and I love this whole scene with Moroha, Setsuna, and Takachiyo. I love this scene because it's just like Moroha, who up until this point, Moroha and Grandpa Flea have been our big exposition points.
Yep.
And in this scene, that spotlight is completely stolen from Moroha by Takachiyo, who's on his freaking shell talking to the boss, and he's just like, oh yeah, so this is where she is, this is who she's dealing with, this is what you're talking about, and yeah, that's also where your target is. So
I like how he was like, yeah, she, actually, like, they're talking about how incompetent Towa is, and no, actually, she's the most reliable. She's already there, and she's probably getting a prize, and blah blah blah. He's just going on and on.
They're just trying to push
rubbing
him.
it in.
Yeah, definitely pushing the buttons and playing
rubbing
them.
it in.
The question is, how does he know all this stuff?
See, I love this because Moroha even calls it out before
During their
meeting up with
discussion.
Setsuna.
Yep.
She was just like, who the hell is paying these high-tier demons to be taken out? And Takachiyo's just like, none of your damn business.
Pretty much.
Just go do it. You've already been forwarded the money. Just do it. Don't ask questions.
Stop
and I'm like, okay.
complaining.
I was like, this is super sus. We called it out
Yeah,
before
very
that this was
sus.
sus. But now it's super sus.
Yep. And as they're flying, we find out, oh, there's a 4th pearl, and it's purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so technically this would be the 5th pearl that we find out about, because
You're really thinking that blue
No,
one's
it's-
a pearl.
I'm really thinking that blue one's one of the pearls.
Until I have solid information, I'm only going with the 4.
Did they say it was a purple pearl or a blue pearl? I thought they said it was a blue pearl.
It's
No.
purple.
It's purple.
Because
Well,
we
pearl
actually
that
have the
we-
scene with Kayuki.
Kayuki.
And she has the pearl in her hand, and she actually even states, I'll have 4 pearls, and I'll have more strength than even...
Kirinmaru, yeah.
I don't know that
Yeah,
pearl
so we've
kind.
got, we've got the
pearl-
4.
The
that
blue
are-
one even kind of looked purple to me, but also it could be my television.
Well, and see, I actually went back while I was doing my notes for the show and tried to look at that, and it's really hard for me to even distinguish it. Like, even watching it on another display, it was really hard for me to distinguish, but I'm pretty damn sure that what Riku had was blue and what Kayuki has is purple.
Which would make sense because he was controlling
Water.
Yeah,
I do like when
I'll have to go back and watch because I wasn't really paying attention to the pearl that he had and whether or
It's
not it was
his
blue
earring.
or not.
It's
Yeah,
what-
it's his earring.
I know. I'm just saying I wasn't paying attention to the color, whether or not it was like
It's
blue.
like the
or-
color. It's the bluish color of like the water.
Okay.
And I don't. For me, I just see it as some type of water treasure. It could be a pearl, but until there's more solid information. So as they're going through and everything of that sort, they are finally flying up, and then we have the ice snow demon beast Fabuki appear in front of them.
Yeah, no matter what they throw at it, it just regens.
Because all it is just an illusion.
He was a polar bear, and then I really like polar bear.
They're very cute.
And Setsuna makes a very good point here. It's like, do not use your rouge.
Yeah, because I mean, it's
Well, at first they didn't know exactly what, and then also when she does the swallow attack, it goes right through it and repairs, and it makes it the point it's not the real body. It's like a fog, is what Moroha calls it. We gotta find and the main body's hiding somewhere.
Yeah, but I love the fact that Sessuna's just like, no, don't use the rouge, because Sessuna knows if Moroha uses the rouge and this doesn't work,
she's out.
It's just her, and now not only is she having to fight, but now she's also having to protect.
And I love when they pop back over to Setsuna, or not Setsuna, but Towa, showing that she's really improved with sensing demon energy. Because the main body is actually with her.
Yeah, it's literally
the
like
baby polar bear,
10 feet behind her, if that.
which is evil but cute. Like it
really
caused me a
cute.
lot of it caused me a lot of trauma. Like I was very upset about this cute polar bear that was like, I'll eat your soul.
Nom 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 nom.
At least it wasn't a panda. I couldn't live with myself.
No.
She taps into the pearl and blasts off an energy to it, and then Setsuna senses it. And I love, it's crazy right here with how far Moroha was able to sense and see where Towa was.
Yeah.
For a lower, less demon than the other two.
Well, I'm wondering if that too played into the part that they are related. Like, even though it might be slight, they are still kind of related. So I'm wondering if that played into Moroha being able to see a little bit better. Maybe not a huge amount, but a little bit more. But yeah, Moroha does have some beast skills. Like,
well, at this point, I looked at it more in the aspect of she's not using physical sight,
mental or other in other ways, aura sight.
Yeah, it's basically aura sight, which has a greater range, theoretically, than their sense of smell or sense of vision.
Yep.
No matter how good that sense of smell is. They would be able to pick up on, demon or half-demon energy much further away than they would smell it.
Very true. And there's one thing I would like to bring up that we kind of glossed right over, but it's hilarious. Raccoon Boy got frozen.
Yeah.
Rakunomon took an icicle straight to the face.
Takachio
for that how
was
shady
literally told to chill the F out.
Pretty much.
This raccoon's gonna have to take a lot. There's gonna have to be a large raccoon demon arch for us to appreciate the raccoon. We just don't have it in us. Like, there's something off about this.
He's very sus.
He's very sus. I'm like I said, maybe eventually there'll be some redeeming quality about him. Right now, he's just shady. Used car salesman shady.
Oh yeah. Then we go back to Moroha. Grade A sniping.
Yes.
Pops that arrow, pierces it into the pillar, then has her priestess energy go through the pillar.
And it kills the main body too, which was very impressive. That was pretty nice.
Then Towa's smiling, is like, you may want to run.
But I love the fact that just using her senses, she was able to signal and pull off a perfect combo attack with Moroha from that distance.
Oh, yes.
It's just like, she puts out all those little beams of energy to either hit or distract or, cause enough dodging Fabuki to do for that sacred arrow to pierce right through it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful combat scene, in my opinion.
Fully agree. It goes into pretty much the scenes that we got from episode 1, and then they're fighting going into it, fighting the owl, and then Moroha is about to blast off her dragon. It's like, no, we need information. And try to nab him, and that pretty much closes out the whole episode right then and there.
Yeah. Now, what I wish we could have seen was Towa actually get the sword back, the full actual sword.
I think that's what she's going to end up taking it. I have a feeling.
Possibly. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it could be one of those like, hey, I know where it is now.
Well, she may be given it too, because if you saw, he was a little like, she did give him warning. She wasn't after him. She wasn't after the Shogun. She was after the assistant Shogun, because he wasn't a Shogun.
Well,
he wasn't a person.
Well, the thing is, the other two don't know about him. Because if you notice, Moroha is the one that reacts and smells him that's like, oh, you're here. I've been looking for you.
Well, no, at the end, after they go through all that, she knows that Towa knows that it's there, and there's a possibility that they'll do something, and the Shogun will later reward it to them as a gift.
Yeah.
Because he was, at the end of it,
Liberated, pretty much.
he was kind of like, well, what happened, and he was appreciative. He seemed appreciative of the fact that they did kind of help him.
Yeah.
So
Despite Towa not giving him the information she wanted, his life was saved.
and Towa didn't know that information, as far as we know. So that's not,
No. From what we've seen, she didn't know that was the owl demon, and Setsuna did not know as well.
No, Towa did. Towa did. And I picked this up watching it because when they show up at the river and the retainers surround her and say that, that's the property of the Lord Deputy Shogun, he comes riding up on the horse and he calls her, half demon princess, and she looks right at me. She goes, "Oh snap, another apparition."
She did.
Like she calls him, she calls it out, not like out loud, but she processes this to herself. And in her monologue, she was like, "Crap, another apparition." And so she knows that entire time that she's in there with them, she has to be careful. She was like, okay, so there's an apparition in front of me. Then she senses the one behind her that's attacking Setsuna and Moroha. She takes that one out.
Well, it doesn't take it out. She pretty much assists.
Well, she helps take that one out. But yeah. So she knows, and then as soon as Moroha walks in, Setsuna is so focused on just grab my sister, get the hell out of here, get back home. She doesn't pick up on Yasume. Doesn't even pick up on Yasume's presence. Moroha stops and goes, "Oh yeah, I know you. Come here." And lunges. And that's when Setsuna is just like, "You're swinging a little too early."
So is anyone ready to cover the preview?
I think we're all brimming with anticipation at this point.
Oh, these fights and hopefully information on Kagome and Inuyasha.
Yeah, we get a very clear image of them.
Clear image of them, and I'm thinking it's pretty much all the perils that are standing there. Or at least if they're not the other perils, they're pretty much under demons to the current peril that we're interacting with.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks very exciting though.
It does, and I've got near the end of the preview. It's kind of interesting to see Setsuna standing in the spot where the tree that Rin is sitting in, or supposed to be in.
Yeah,
and then it goes over to Rin in the tree again. What's going on?
It looks like the title, I think, too, kind of set the pace for it too. That it kind of gave a I can't remember it either right now. But
it was a
flashback kind of thing. Yeah.
I just passed it. Where is it? The Dream Gazing Trap.
Yeah.
Is what the next episode is called. And then the interesting thing is, it's like they say, "Who is this woman?" during the preview as well. Are they talking about Ren, or are they talking about Kagome?
exactly.
Yeah.
There's really when they say those words, neither
the timing,
one of them are in frame.
Well, yeah, the timing of it is split perfectly between post-image of Kagame and pre-image of Rin. It is split perfectly. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just like, oh, now that is definitely, like, more so than seeing Inuyasha and Kagome together, seeing those words pop up right between the two images.
So you don't know.
It's just a total tease.
What exactly is this? Yeah. Who are they talking about? What's going on?
And then with it being the preview, they always put it in one person's voice if they do it. So we don't know if that dialect is supposed to be from Towa, Setsuna.
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Where the dialogue comes into play, yeah.
I'm looking at the framing again on this. And it's literally, the comment of "who is this woman" is in frame with Kagome. I had to go back and frame,
it is. Yep.
Frame it by frame it. But it is literally right, like they finish one sentence, and while they're still in frame, they go, "Who is this woman?" And then the next frame is Setsuna. So there's no way they could be talking about Rin. This is a revelation for...
this is information I've been waiting for. I'm hoping it's the information I want. But still,
I don't think they're gonna.
They're not.
We may get. We're still gonna have some ifs, but I think
it's gonna be like a little feather
tidbit. Yeah.
Here's this little tidbit of salt that you want.
Yeah, they'll give us a little bit of information. They're not gonna give us everything.
Here's my shovel. Give me my information. Well, I'll beat you till you give it.
Yeah, I mean, as we've discussed in the past, I'm the noob to the Inuyasha universe, pretty much.
I've always been a fan of the character Inuyasha.
Watching this episode and watching this preview for the next episode, the Dream Gaze Trap, I just, like, it brought out a different level in me of anticipation and fandom in a weird way.
Yeah,
Because
he was
I'm just
very
Because you're learning
grumpy.
more now.
At the end of the episode, he was like, and
Yeah,
it stopped.
yeah,
The point is stopped. He
I-
looked so mad. I was like, are you upset because
when they rolled into
yes.
the credits, I looked at Asuna and I was like, two episodes of effing tease. The first episode, when they ended it just like this, and now this episode, episodes 1 and 7, kiss my ass.
And the funny thing is, we're getting to episode 8, and we're, give or take, we're getting to a halfway point. In another month, we'll be at a halfway point. So
Yeah, because was it officially confirmed that this is going to be 24 episodes?
Pretty sure it was.
They've already started the dubbed. We noticed that because
The first two episodes of the English dub
all
are
of us
out
watch subtitled, as far as I know, but I did notice.
I am actually going to go. I normally don't do this because I don't really. I like the sub because I get most of the time the voice acting gives more of that energy, that interaction of the character.
Mm-hmm.
I do it. I'll go back and watch the dub to some series here and there. Definitely ones that I fully enjoy or I'm interested in seeing how they portrayed these characters in the English voice.
Yeah, I've done that.
It's like I have a sister that's dyslexic, so it's like I totally understand. It's like a lot of them. There are some animes I don't feel like the sub does a good job. There's others that I feel like the dub is fantastic, or I feel like the dub doesn't do a good job. I feel like you get more information from the sub, I should say. But there's others where I feel like they do a good job with the dub. The voice actors are wonderful. It depends on and there's certain voice actors everyone likes and that prefers.
Yeah, I'll definitely back Asuna up on that. Like, I think for me, like watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I absolutely adore the dub.
Brotherhood did actually a very good job.
Yeah, they did an amazing job with the dub.
I still watch dub from time to time. It's like definitely if it has voice actors that I know or I would like to support, but also I still want to support the English side of things because without the voice actors that we get to know, there's no fandom, there's no creation.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, my introduction to anime was the dubs of certain shows. Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2049 or whatever the year was on that one. Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, well, mine was Sailor Moon and Inuyasha, which I didn't realize at the time Sailor Moon was so vastly different between the two. But at the time, I was a child too. And then, Evangelion.
I'll start a dub to see where it goes. But there's sometimes all the voices are great, and then there's that one voice or two voices that everybody else is doing great.
But you get the one.
The one or the two that are like, no, you're my favorite character. I can't listen to you like this.
But I mean, and that happens with any though. That's even with the I've had certain ones where I'm like, why do you sound like that?
I had the flip reaction with that going from dub to sub by watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because
Dragon Ball is a big.
I'm used to hearing Goku, who sounds like a 20 to 30-some-year-old man-child, but with an appropriately aged voice, all of a sudden sounding like literally somebody with the voice of like
Dragon
an
Ball
8-year-old.
One of the ones I still prefer watch dub. I can never. I've tried to watch it subbed. I like some of it, but then there's just some of it is like I can't get around what I'm used to hearing.
Yeah, and Digimon has had that kind of effect on me. And I go back and forth. I'm like, there are voice actors and reactions and responses I love from the sub, but I'm so used to the variants of it from the dub that I'm like, I wish I could find a blending of the two that would be perfect.
I haven't really gone deep into the dub for Rising of a Shield Hero yet, but I need to because it's one of the series I fully enjoy. I can't wait for the more of it to come out. I just need to see how that went with the dub. So let's get back on topic before we go into another whole tangent. We're here all night. So have we got everything that we needed to cover for this episode tonight?
I think
so. Next week, man.
Oh,
I
next
know.
week's gonna be a very interesting one.
I mean, here's something from the preview that we didn't point out either.
Hmm.
Okay, Moroha's sword. Did you see the frame? Did you see the clip?
The dragon.
The dragon that actually like manifests and
Oh yeah, it actually
starts
fully
like
manifests as a dragon.
yeah, and starts encircling the blade instead of just that kind of like dragon-shaped bolt of lightning.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I am so ready to see this because the appearance of the actual energy dragon combined with the references to Inuyasha and Kagome,
Hmm.
we're starting to see that there's more pearls because they say it in the trailer or in the preview that Yashahime, the owl demon, uses the power of a rainbow pearl. So I'm assuming, and I know it's a dangerous thing to do with anime or with anything, that he has his own.
Well, the thing that gets me too is they call it rainbow pearls. So
Yeah,
wouldn't it
so
have each
obviously-
of the color of the rainbow?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Once they brought the introduction of the fourth one from the one peril, I was like, okay, makes sense. So there's another pearl, but the color doesn't make sense.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess technically rainbow is a generic term
Yeah,
because if they were going off of rainbow, which anybody who went through elementary school, remembers
G.
Roy G. Biv, silver and gold are not on there.
Or the no.
This goes back to when I was watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they were like, we had red, yellow, blue, pink, and black, and then they introduced green. I'm like, all right, cool. And then they went, now we're doing white, and then there's the gold, and then there's this, and there's. I'm like, whoa, slow your roll, hold on.
And there's never an orange one. There's never an orange one ever.
what? for
I'm
Power
still
Rangers?
Yeah,
mad.
there's never.
There
Is
is
there a
later-
purple
later.
one?
If you go
Still mad
further
about this.
into the Power Rangers genre, there is an orange.
I don't remember which one because like Owen watches all the Power Rangers. I must be one he hasn't watched because I don't remember an orange one.
There's the possibility is one he doesn't watch. I've stopped keeping track after a long time.
There's so many.
I want a purple ranger.
But there's actually
There is a
person-
purple ranger.
Really?
Yeah, there is actually purple.
She's
What?
in Dino Charge and she's pretty cute actually. I'm just saying.
I don't.
Yep.
Okay, well.
All right,
Yeah.
let's close out.
Let's close it before we start going into Power Rangers because we will be here all night.
I would like everyone that's been here supporting us, viewers, followers, please share us out to your friends if you are enjoying this or if you want to interact with us because we are trying to get to affiliate right now. We are at 10 of 50. Help us out because once this whole COVID thing is over, there are some projects that we really want to do and to improve a lot of our content that we do besides this podcast to push forward.
Yeah, I mean we're a group of friends who get together once a week to throw out a discussion about something we're passionate about to people who are passionate with us.
Yes.
And we are nothing without you guys. People in the community, the people who watch us on streams, even on our playbacks over on YouTube, who follow us on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else, we're nothing without you guys. So the more you can spread the word and share the love and fun, we greatly appreciate it. We're nothing without you.
So this is Rainwolf.
This is Kirito Silverheart.
This is also the Silverheart.
And this is Lyria.
We'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.